you have to find your strengths and use your strengths, and that's one of your strengths is your overactive mind. It's not a bad thing. You just need to go run around the block for a minute first. All right, guys. Looks like we can go ahead and get started since it's afternoon now. All right. So this call is for everyone who is joining the community and is, got that little message that to continue to have free access, you have to join into at least one of these calls on Fridays. This is a call where we go over the community, what's it about, how to keep your free access, and some of our warriors will go over some testimonials and things that they've experienced within the community. It's an amazing, fun time. It's chaos. I stutter and repeat myself whenever I don't need to, so just know that authenticity is great. Just a little bit, yes. All right, so to keep your free access, you have to at least watch one of these calls or be on one of these calls, so all you guys are good. You guys can keep your access after this. You do have to go through and read the creed. So if you don't know where that's at, that is at the top of your Discord, the Warriors Creed. It is a tab that kind of goes over everything that is in the community and what the community stands for. If you do not agree with those kind of things and you don't think that blaming and shaming and sharing stuff in this group outside of the group is okay, you can go ahead and leave the community. We have these rules and these things for a reason, to protect our guys and to make sure that we uphold this culture that we are building. So check that out. Make sure you guys read that. Click the little check mark button so it verifies you that you have read it. If you have to leave this call early, that's fine. I will post a recording of it. There is also a link to watch past recordings as well, so you guys need to at least watch one of those to kind of understand how things work. Aside from that, you guys use the free chat as much as you need to, and it is there for you to utilize to the fullest that you get out of it, right? If you're not commenting in it and you're not putting your stuff in there and you're not connecting with other guys, you're not going to get as much out of it. The Saturday calls are free as well. The first call that you join into, you have to, or you can come off mute and talk about stuff. After that, you do have to remain muted. It is only for the guys who are paying for that to continue to come off mute and talk about stuff. But that doesn't mean that joining those calls, it's not still a great place to get information. Just listening to other guys go through stuff and what Rick gives advice for, it is still very useful and it can still be applied to your life. One thing that Rick says is that, those calls, if it's not stuff that you're currently going through, it is keys to doors you're not at right now. So it might be something that you go through in the future. And also it just might be something that you can use as knowledge and altering it a little bit to kind of fit your perspective. So that is something that's really huge. If you guys have people who are commenting to things that you are asking advice for in the main free chat, please know that anyone who does not have a blue or a yellow tag, those are not, or a name tag, those are not guys who have gone through program or are not currently in program. So those guys, they're offering help based off the best that they can, but they are untrained guys. And so just take their advice knowing that they are coming from a good place, but it might not be just the most trained advice. If you guys have a red tag, a blue tag, or a yellow tag responding to you, go ahead and listen to them. They're guys who are going through the program. They have a higher awareness. If you guys feel yourself kind of getting defensive about some of this stuff, just know that these guys they're asking questions to try to push your understanding and understand what you're going through. Please ask questions to understand. Just getting frustrated and not knowing where they're coming from, that's not going to get you anywhere. And that's a lot of behavior that we've done in the past where we get frustrated, we close off, we don't want to join the group anymore, we don't want to be a part of things. These guys are all really, really invested in helping other guys who are committed to themselves. If you guys are committed to your growth, then these guys are there for you. I have seen guys do some awesome stuff in here. Yes, a fresh yellow, which I'm a little bit late on. I apologize. Good point. If you guys ever have anything that is not the way it's supposed to be, if you guys have tags that you need, or anything like that, message me. and I will help get that set up for you. I'm the one who kind of runs all the back end stuff. So if there's any problems with anything, let me know. I do not get upset whenever you tell me I misspell stuff or anything like that. It happens. I'm human and I just fix it as I go. Know that in the free chat, it is a free chat. So there is no obligation to any advice. There's no obligation to any help. These guys are doing it because they care and they want to help you. But we have had someone come through in the past where they are kind of upset because they did not get a bunch of people just jumping on and calling them and doing stuff right at that first day that they jumped in. And it's like, you guys got to show up too. You guys got to put in the work and do not demand things from these guys. They're here to help you, but essentially you have to do the work. From the free chat, you guys can upgrade into different tiers. There are a lot of different tiers. We have a huge range of stuff because we know everyone is in different places financially. And we also know that someone might not want to invest something right away until they get an experience of the program and how it works. We have that available too. If you guys are interested in things, you guys can experience stuff before you purchase things. That is something we do. Like, we let guys jump into the morning calls to experience it all the time. Just know that that access does go away if you do not upgrade. We try to offer as much as we can, but obviously there does have to be a skin in the game element to things. The first package that we have is the Bring a Brother package. It is a call for Saturdays. It is 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and Rick will be the host of it and going over, most of the time Rick is the host of it. Every now and then he's AFK and, one of our other coaches run it. But it's a great place to understand the community and get a feel of what it's like. It is $30 a month, and you guys can come off mute every Saturday and talk about stuff that you're going through. That is a huge piece to just understanding what the support is about. It is like a little peek through the window. The next one is the one I typically recommend to guys who are looking to drastically change their habits. If you guys are wanting to kind of really disrupt the way that you're operating right now because it's not serving you, joining the Shieldwall program will do that. It is a program that is available to you Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you guys can join on these calls in the morning, you guys get this positive reinforcement from these guys. You guys get the support from your brotherhood and the guidance from Rick. It is a great way to start your day, and it will start disrupting a lot of the negative patterns that you have developed and creating a really good habit of starting your day off with just really good intent. So that is the one that I recommend. Quit poking your finger at me. That is the one I recommend to everyone who really understand what the community is about and get the full aspect without joining into a full transformation. So that one is a good starting place. It is $200 a month, and you get 48 calls a month as well as designated specialized calls. So you guys get a spirit side call, you guys get a body and fitness call. Oh, you weren't even talking to us. Sure, Nick. Okay. So you guys get the spirit side call, the body and fitness call, and then the Elmo's call. The Elmo's call is a hangout session. It is unguided and there is no expectations in it. It's literally just a bunch of guys being guys. The spirit call is not a specific religion. It is literally just spiritual talk. They do have specific religion talk in there, but anyone who is interested in their spiritual path can jump into that. It's a very interesting thing with a bunch of different religions. The body side, diet and fitness, that is a really cool place to focus on not just your mindset. To have a full healthy persona, you have to kind of focus on all these different areas. So that's what we do. We include all of these things to create well-rounded men. Let's see. And then there is also advanced mindset training. There are things available to you past full programs, so that way you can, go further with your knowledge. And we don't just end your experience once you complete full program. There is a huge community to be a part of. The phalanx calls are calls in the morning. They're called phalanx calls because it's literally essentially, if anyone has seen 300 or knows anything about Spartans, it is shields locking with the people around you. So your community, your brothers, they will lock shields with you and essentially go to battle with anything that you're facing in your life, mindset stuff, relationship stuff, business stuff. They are there for you, and that is why it's called a phalanx. Um, let's see. Next, we have courses. So you guys can start off at the low end of the courses and then work your way up. Every time you purchase a different course, it is considered a down payment to the next tier. We do not ever ask anyone to buy stuff more than once. That's why we give the discounts. It all goes into the next thing. So let's see, if you do the 200 a month, does someone go through the training with you? So the 200 a month is just support. There's not a course with it, but yes, you have Rick and you have other coaches in there as well as other members in the community who goes through your personal situations with you. It is very similar to the Bring a Brother, but it's instead of just one time a week, it's every single day. Did that answer your question, Bobby? You can come off mute if you have any other questions on that.
I was trying to get there. I couldn't get my phone
Sorry.
to unlock. You're all right. What I was getting at is like the training that I'm doing right now, because I got the anxiety package, and then the other stuff that you're going through, learning about yourself, that the big long like 15 course deal. I was referring to that as somebody walks through that with you if you do the 200 one, or is that for the full training program?
That's for the full training. So whenever you get the brother bundle, it gives you those two smaller packages. The big one that goes through all of the internal stuff, that is the unguided course. And you will get a shield mate like D-Day or someone to jump in with you, or D-Day will recommend someone for you to kind of go through that stuff. If you get stuck on things, you can always book time with one of the coaches to go through it like in a deep dive. Or you can book time with Rick and go through it. Now, when you purchase that, as you're going through that full course, if you want to eventually upgrade into full transformation where you go through it week by week with Rick or one of our coaches and a small unit, that is considered your down payment to the full course. So you should only have access to, with the shield wall, it should just be the anger and anxiety courses. So those are a piece of the big course.
Got you.
Yep.
Understood. All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Good question. Yeah, so the anger and anxiety course are entry-level courses. They're $30 a piece, or if you purchase the brother bundle, you get both of them plus the Saturday calls, so it just makes sense to do that. We do that because we want to give you guys support. Like, the courses are great, but when you don't have someone who is kind of reinforcing this stuff, living it, and also whenever you read that stuff and you know in your mind how to do those things, but you do not execute it in your life, these guys will hold you accountable to that kind of stuff. If you know how to work out and you know how to diet and you're not doing it, your life isn't going to change. That's the same thing with courses. If you guys know how to do these things, but you're not doing it, it's just the accountability piece. Go ahead, Nick.
Someone asked, is the full course called the Spartan program? Yes, it is. It's a 5-month course, roughly 15 weeks that you go through everything with you and your, basically your shield mates, and you complete the course. You usually have 2 coaches in on that. So you at least have constant contact with your resources on that.
Yeah, and that is the intensive course. That is where if you have systems in place that have been blocking you, it completely rewires a lot of your stuff and finds out who you are authentically. Jordan, I didn't even recognize you. You're looking sharp, dude. All right, what's up, Jordan?
What I was going to add to that is when you open up those boxes, what makes this different than therapy, that support that we're talking about, is just that. It's support, because in therapy, they'll just open up a box in 45 minutes, pat you on the butt, and you're out the door the rest of the time to deal with it. When you go through some of these courses, or even just pieces of the courses, we're there to kind of guide you through the rest and make sure that you have weapons to fight whatever you open up as well.
Yeah, it is such a different place than therapy. Just like Jordan was saying, you have 45 minutes to open stuff up and then shove it all back down and keep the bottle lid on your bottle until next week, or it's just spilling all over the place and it makes a mess of things because you don't have anyone to talk to after that. That's not how we work. We are very meticulous with the program that we have built. And after you're done with those failings calls, if stuff's still bubbling out and you're still struggling, you can jump into chat. You can talk to these guys. And the longest you'll have to wait to talk again is the next day, as long as it's not a Sunday. So there is support every single day, and it's huge. It is the reason why we have guys who come in here and they're saying that they've been in therapy for 6 years and their lives are completely changed in a week. Yeah, Nick.
There is also the emergency line, but that is for strictly emergencies.
Yep. So if you guys are sitting alone at 3 o'clock in the morning and the darkness is creeping in and you guys feel like you don't have anyone and you just start going into those negative spaces, you guys have that emergency chat that you can jump into and guys will jump in and give you support. It's a really amazing place because suicide with men is just off the charts. I mean, I'm sure all of you guys know the statistics on that. And the prevention behind that is not being alone. The isolation piece is what gets you. So that's why we have that there, and making sure that you guys know that you're not alone is a huge part of it. So the next step on courses are the Enemy Within course. That is a $500 price point. It goes through a big chunk of the main course, but it is a lot of the stuff that hangs people up. It is the pieces that a lot of times you're being blocked on and you're not really sure how to go past it. So that is an amazing course. Spartan Training Full Transformation Unguided is the full program that you will be going through if you were to do the guided program, which is with Rick or a coach, but you just don't have a coach. You can read through it at your own pace, work through it at your own pace. And then what happens a lot of time, we haven't had anyone purchase that course and not eventually go through full transformation. You just realize that this is a lot of stuff that gets very deep, especially doing inventory week on your own. That is a scary thing to do. It is a lot of deep work stuff. So having the community and having a coach go through it and guide you through it is very important, but it's still doable on your own. Yeah, Daniel, go ahead.
I've noticed that before. Can you give me a brief explanation of what inventory week, or somebody can?
Guys, anyone want to
Nick raised
jump
his
into
hand.
that?
I'll hit it.
Hit
I'll
me.
hit it. So inventory week is when you go into happiness, health, wealth, and love, all those categories. And you can usually the first one's just a quick skim. The second one that you do, usually on your own, is a more deep dive into each of those categories, figuring out where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are in each of those categories, and what you're going to do next. That requires a hard look on yourself. A lot of people can't do it.
Gotcha.
In my class alone, I was one of 2 guys that actually completed the course, and there were 7 of us to begin with, and most of them burned out by week 10. And when I was in, it was week 11 was inventory, and let me tell you, it was rough.
No, I get that now. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Daniel, it's the eye-opening experience that we all go through. It's sort of that last push through your journey in the course that uses all of your tools to drag every single demon out. Where do you stand on these things? Where, what is your true and authentic self in every single aspect of your life? Look at the relationships that you have, growing up with your parents, with your siblings, how your relationships are with your spouse and your coworkers. How do you, deal with adversity? How everything that is before you, all of your life experience, it's taking a look at all of those things and then having true and real authentic acceptance for everything that has happened and where you are today because of it, and releasing any of that shit and any of that baggage that has held you back and you've dragged along through your life. It's a really, really deep dive into self. You need to be really, really honest with yourself. Otherwise it's for naught.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I get that. I've been doing partials, so it
So
should still be fun, but yeah.
the way it's laid out is it's categorical journaling, where it's like 4 or 5 categories broken down, rate them, why are they the way they are, and then so basically, like you said, we're just inventorying what the issues are, and then the week that follows that is fighting. So weeks 1 through 9 are really knowing thyself, and like Rick preaches is knowing what your weapons are, going in with your strengths as opposed to working with your weaknesses, and then you address those categories. Okay, what is it? And then the following weeks you start tackling it. But
Okay.
we always say if tears aren't hitting the paper, you're not going deep enough.
Right. Oh yeah, no, we've been playing with that one for a minute. You can ask Nick. But yeah, because the way you said it almost sounded like what I got the idea of the arena stuff, because I thought maybe there was actually like a back and forth that y'all did to see where you were at on that.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
arena is for Discord. So the arena or discourse. So the arena is if someone they know the creed, they are breaking creed, they are fighting themselves essentially. That is what the arena is for.
Okay, gotcha. All right,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Awesome. Good question. This is actually, I kind of want to clip that out because that's not something that's brought up every week. So I like that. Yeah, so that is full training unguided. Now, like we said, going through that program with Rick or a coach, that is a higher price point. That is the $7,000 price point. That is where if you purchase that is considered a down payment to it. And then you can make monthly payments. You can pay it off all at one time. We have so many different options available to guys because we want this to be available to as many people as we can. And here's what I'll say about the $7,000 price point, and you guys can back me up on this who've gone through the program. If you guys are paying anything less than that, right? Even I would say $4,000. Once stuff gets really hard and Rick starts pushing you guys to open that box that you guys have had closed for 30-ish years, you're going to want to quit. You're going to be like, okay, I'm done. I actually don't want to do this. I don't want to dig deep, and I don't want to open that box that I have had closed because that's painful. That shit is stuff that that's why you have all your systems in place, is to help protect yourself from those painful situations. If you have a $7,000 price tag attached to that, that is going to piss you off if you walk away. Not having that skin in the game it means, just like Nick said, we've adjusted a lot of stuff because when Nick was first going through the program, we had it structured very differently, and guys would just drop out halfway through because they did not have the skin in the game element. And that shit gets scary when you start digging deep and you start looking at yourself on that level. So that is the reason why we have it in that the way we do.
I would also add that the program, it will very much separate the wheat and the chaff from within yourself. By the end of the program, if you're not at least seeing some change, then you did it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something. Go ahead.
I'll go beyond and even say this about that, is that the price tag for the program is a bargain. It's a deal. And what it actually, and the value that it actually brings to your life. I don't know of any guy that's gone through it, that's done it, that's all the way at the end and sitting in the same, seat that I'm in. All of these guys, Jordan, Nick, all of these guys, I would pay for it again if knowing what I know now and how much it's affected my life and changed my life. If it was twice as expensive, I'd pay it. I'd figure out a way.
Yeah. And no, that's another thing too, is like, do you want to keep living the way that you've been living? There are reasons why you guys are here. No one here is coming here because they have a happy, perfect life and everything is kosher. Like, there's a reason why you're here. I mean, there could be, and then you just don't have the brotherhood aspect, but even that's huge. Oh gosh, I'm gonna do this every single time. I'm gonna have a train of thought and then it's just gonna gone.
All right, I'll fill space for you because that's what I do. So join at whatever level you can. There's so many entrepreneurs and different minded people in here that will figure out a way for you to make money, but you'll get the support you need at least along the way. And I've got a buddy I'm trying to bring in on the free Discord. The community alone, just being able to talk with like-minded people will help. Not to mention it could bridge you into a version of entrepreneurship and making money like you never thought before because you're just gaining that little bit of confidence about yourself. I mean, there's so many different walks of life. There's a guy in here, Brian, that lost everything, kind of like I did months ago. He taught him, he got a real estate license and a house inspection license, and he's making tenfold what he made before the program. He came in as broken as I did, just as an example.
Yeah, it's huge. It transforms a lot of stuff. Go ahead, Robert.
A perspective for you guys for this, the full course. Think of it as like purchasing a house. It is something that you're going to be living in for the rest of your life. It is a life-changing event. I would honestly pay over $40,000 for the course. In all honesty, it is that good. It changes everything.
Tell Rick that he'll take your bunny.
Well, if I had it, I'd give it to him.
I don't think you would.
I would.
No, I don't think
I
Rick
had-
would.
Oh, probably not.
No, I feel you, man. I feel the same exact way.
Yeah, it's a life-changing thing. It is, the value is beyond what is being asked.
See, that's what you guys are here for. Because I don't know how to talk. All right, Jordan, go ahead.
Well, and to speak to Lever and, oh, you're there? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
To speak to Lever and Rob's point, if you guys are researching other programs just like this, you'll see that the program is a fraction of the price in terms of getting involved.
There isn't another program that comes close to this in terms of the community that is available. All the guys that lock shields together to what it is that we do here is entirely different than anything else that you're going to find anywhere else.
Agree.
All right, Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah, 2 points I'll hit on that. When you hear the pricing, it is intimidating, but if you compare it to what it costs to see like a normal therapist, like I don't have insurance, so like for me to go to a therapist, it's $150 to $200 a session. And if I'm doing it twice a week, like I'm getting shit out of it. And they're going in, they're asking, well, how does that make you feel? And it's a lot of surface level, and it's designed to keep you there for a long time because they want to keep getting that money from you each session. And to be honest, I didn't see a lot of results in therapy because the therapist isn't going to challenge you like this program and the men and Rick and everybody else in this program will challenge you. And as far as the program goes, you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Uh-oh, you might have hit a dead spot. Yep, you turned robot on us. Right. Jordan, I'm gonna mute you for just a second, okay? Okay. He's still going. All right, go ahead, Nick.
Let Adam go first.
Adam, do you have a question? Oh, hang on. It is not letting me mute him.
So I just wanted to say, as a guy who has been to countless therapists, because I've been blessed for being in the military, that they offer that kind of behavioral health connection. I can honestly say that when they say like you go to a therapist and for 45 minutes you pour your heart and soul out and then you get nothing out of it, that's 100. I've probably seen a dozen therapists and they're all pretty much the same, right? It's just how it is. So that's one thing that attracted me to this program. Everything I've seen so far is top notch. Randy, keep doing what you're doing. You're awesome.
Thank you.
I appreciate everybody else's input. So I just want to say, like, yeah, that's spot on. Therapists suck. I mean, they're good for what they do, but they don't solve your problems. You have to solve your own problems.
100%. Yep. I'm glad to have you here, Adam. I knew you'd like it. When we talked, I was like, this is gonna be great for you. So thank you for jumping in. All right, Nick, go ahead.
Little side thing that's happened since I joined the Brotherhood is Robert Silent Rob here pulled me out of a hell of a situation. And without this group, I'd still be in St. Louis, probably in an even worse spot than I was when I first joined. So if nothing else, it's worth it for that. To have the brothers around you that can pull you out of absolutely shit situations that you can't find a handhold anywhere else.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite things to watch is you guys like locking arms like that and helping each other. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, at a gas station right now, but
I think we lost you.
Off into the nevermore.
I know. I love that you guys are like making it a point to be on here, even though you guys have crazy days and, you know, you guys are doing real life stuff and you guys are still here. So. All right, Sean, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to mute you and let Josh go real quick. All right, go ahead, Josh.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I got cut off?
You're fine. Okay, go ahead. Josh hasn't
What was
unmuted, so you're good.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
Nothing. You said, hey.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Okay. Man, I went on a rant too. Damn it. Okay. So, okay. All right. This might happen
That
again,
pump hurt a lot, though.
Yeah. The pump's crying over here, asking me if I'm okay. Okay. So for the guys, I have a question directly for the guys that did the $7,000 program. And this isn't from a place of doubt. I love the community so far. It's already had an impact on me in a big way. My question is for the guys that did the program, what were the tangible results from like the before to the after, in regards to your own transformation or awareness or a way you were living and the way that you were showing up after? Again, no doubt. It's just genuine curiosity.
Can I hit this one?
Go for it.
All right. So to put things in perspective, I was somebody that had just suffered the loss of my parent. I had moved 4 times in fucking 2 years. I had lost the love of my life at the time because she found someone better. Like, I was in an absolutely shit fucking state. No other words about it. And I was filled with nothing but anger and hate for people. Like, all of them, including myself. And as I went through the program, I learned that people were doing the best they could. Whether it was good enough or not, they were doing the best they could. And at the same turn, I was doing the best I knew how to do. Whether that was good enough or not, doesn't matter. I was doing the best I knew how. And because of that, I learned that people around me were all doing the same thing. And because of that, I learned how to forgive people a lot quicker. I didn't hold on to grudges anymore. Do things still piss me off? Yeah, I'm human. Fuck it. But I'm in a much happier place now, mentally and emotionally, than I have been in decades. And I've only been here for a little over 1.5 years.
Thank you, Nick. That was awesome. David, are you wanting to go?
Yeah. Thanks, brother. Thank you for sharing.
Does anybody else want to touch on that?
Yeah, I can. So the question is kind of broad because it's going to be different for everybody else in terms of what they're battling, right? Think of it like taking college courses, right? So you're going to get, when you go into college, they're going to tap dance on just about everything, right? But then as you're looking to get into your degree, right, you'll start honing in on the actual stuff that you need to work on and learn in order to get into the job placement that you want, right? So you're going to find that as going through the course, like the first 9 weeks, 9 or 10 weeks is going to be a whole bunch of discovery, and you're going to learn about everything that goes on, how we operate in every scenario, right? And then once you get the inventory and you start armoring up, and you've already done all this self-reflection and deep diving and knowing who you are, right? Then you start to armor up and figure out, okay, these are my demons. How am I going to fight them? And then collectively, you're going in together, right? Because you're going to be part of a unit in theory, and working on how to fight those things based on what you've learned to date, right? So for me personally, it was doubt, right? I had a lot of negative self-talk. I had a lot of doubt. I wasn't confident in how I was leading myself. How I was leading my family as a Christian man. I didn't have a father growing up, so I knew I lacked a lot of things there. And so for me, it was just learning, one, just how to better look at myself and love myself, let alone just like myself. It was learning how to love myself. And then after that, I was like, okay, now that I love myself, now I know how to properly love my children. I know how to properly lead them. I know how to properly lead a relationship. And then moving past that, into work life or other programs I'm involved in, sports, things of that nature, church, all that stuff. So for me, it was the leadership course. How can I be a better man? How can I be a better leader? Right. And that may not be the deal for everybody, but just naturally as men, we're leaders, right? That's in our DNA. So if nothing else, you'll learn, how can I better be a man walking through life? How can I get over the societal stigmas that are thrown at me?
Yeah. And I know you didn't ask for the women's side of it, but I will tell you, my husband went through this program as well. And what happened for me, and I'll say this, Sean, because you have a wife and she's already kind of interested in this program as well. And I can tell you guys are going to do really good through this because she's willing to grow with you. Now, this is what happened with me and my husband. As he went through the program, I realized that he could step into that leadership role. We have kids. I have kids from a previous marriage, and we have a child together. And I had a lot of fear and a lot of stuff that I wasn't comfortable sharing with him because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel secure. When he went through this program, his confidence went up. He, like David said, learned to love himself. And I could see that in everything that he did, he was leading in a way that he was thinking about all of us in the family. That allowed me to completely give him the space to be dad in our house. It wasn't that my kids came from a different marriage and they had a different dad. He was dad in our house. And that is very hard to do for a mother with kids from another relationship. And having someone who is able to do that, and I feel so confident in his abilities and his everything I do, I run by him, and we talk about it as a team because of the insight that he has gotten. Did my computer just completely shut down?
No,
You're
no,
good. You froze for a hot
you
second.
froze, but we still heard you.
Okay. Hang on a second. I want to make sure okay. My screen just went completely black. I was like, I just lost everybody. But it is completely transformed our relationship because the way that we communicate with each other now, it's not who's right. It's how can we do this as a team? It's not my way's better than your way. It is literally, I don't understand your way. You're speaking in a different language because your love language is different. How can I understand it? How can I get to that place where I see where you're coming from? And it has completely changed the way that we work together. So I know you didn't ask for a female's perspective, but there it is.
No, I love it and I appreciate it. And I think his name was David. I mean, I struggle with a lot of the same things you touched. And that's what I was looking for, was individual, just subjective experience. And yeah, you nailed it. Thank you. Thank you for opening up and sharing that, man. That's yeah, it's powerful. Both of you, all of you. Thank you.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question about the insurance, more on like the insurance, not insurance. Let me recollect here.
You're fine.
Has anybody had any experience with getting their HSA to pay?
So that is something that we are moving into. Rick is trying to move this into a nonprofit eventually, or at least a subcategory of it. And that'll be something if you guys have, a veteran background or things like that, that just know that that's something we are moving into in the future. As of right now, there is not something available
Okay.
like that.
No, just curious. Thought I'd ask.
Yeah, of course. That's a great
Yeah.
question.
Randy, if you could let me know when that does happen for veterans, I will go back to my therapist that I was at the VA and let her know, because she's already looking at possibly sending some people to Rick.
Yeah. Oh, I will. It's definitely the thing that's happening with JR. Essentially, that is once that takes off, we are going to take every profit we get from that and turn it right back into turning us into a nonprofit. So it is hopefully in the works very, very soon. Sean, did you have something else you wanted to add?
Yep, thank you. And then after the program, what does that look like for guys that have completed it? And I'm sorry if you already answered that.
Nope, that was just my next step. So you're perfect. You're reading my screen over here. All right, so whenever you are done with full program, we don't want you going anywhere. Like, we want you to stay a part of the community. And what happens is you go from being someone who is at level 1 to being someone who's at level 10. And you now have advice and you have help that you can share to everyone underneath that level, right? And so we want you to shift into a potential mentor role. If you complete full transformation and you go through the course with Rick or another coach, that $200 price point to have access to the community drops down to $79. So you are paying essentially a gym membership fee to have support from all of these amazing guys, and you still get access to the 48 calls a month, any upcoming trainings, and you never lose access to the course material, even as we update it, upgrade it, everything like that. Like, we had a guy who came back after 2 years of being away just a couple weeks ago, and he's like, this course looks completely different. And it's like, yeah, you do not lose access to anything. That $79 is a very cheap price point to have full access to community. But yeah, we don't want you guys going anywhere. This is a lifelong thing, and it's not because we want you here because you can't do it on your own. It's just like I said, you then become a mentor to the new guys. Go ahead, Jordan. You're unmuted, but you're not. We can't hear you. Weird. Can anyone else hear him? Okay.
Hey, Randy, can I jump in on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
sorry, Jordan.
For myself, well, he's not talking.
I know his phone is hating him
We can't
today.
hear him. No, he's yeah. Yeah, so my journey, what I came across along the way was, as I was going through this and saw the community and saw the brotherhood and everything like that, there was almost like this new, calling, I guess, is like the best way to put it. Like, I've always enjoyed helping people. I've always enjoyed, talking with people and learning about their life experiences and everything like that. But going through and then seeing the community as we lock shields, as we come together and as we help one another out and everything like that, it for me, it just supercharged that desire. And now I'm in the position that I'm in where, I'm doing the Shieldmate stuff, and I'm starting to, hopefully jump in and do some units and do sort of assistant coaching type stuff. And that's been, I'm so incredibly grateful, and I'm very, very appreciative that I've been, sort of brought on in this capacity. And it's really amazing. It's all the friends that you always wish that you had, because it's all guys that are like-minded, and not necessarily like-minded in like, we don't necessarily all have the same political views. We don't necessarily all, have the same, whatever. We have different hobbies. We have different, you know, things that we enjoy doing or whatever like that. But every single guy in here that sticks around is here because they want to be the best version of the best version of themselves that they can be. And they want to continue doing that work, putting in that hard work, putting in those reps, and then dragging other guys along too. Like, hey, come on, man, there's a better fucking way. There's a better way to live your life. There's a way to be more confident. There's a way to be, you know, more understanding and empathetic. There's a way to be a better leader. There's all of these things that we can always work on. And, you know, you always hit stumbling blocks. I'm what, a year and a half, 2 years in, I guess, at this point, am I? I don't even know at this point. I don't know. But every single day, I still have, you know, there's still doubt that comes creeping in. It happens, you know. Every single day, there's an opportunity for shame to you know, dig its talons into me. And every single day, I have the opportunity to reach out and call somebody and go, hey, man, I'm struggling today. And they go, what do you need, man? I got your back. You know, and I can't tell you, and I'm sure that some of you guys can relate, like like my friends growing up and everything like that, that it was like, yeah, man, I'm having a hard time. And their response was usually like, suck it up, pussy. Oh, you think that's bad? Check out how bad my shit is, or everything like that. It's like, fuck, man, I just wanted somebody to listen to and like empathize with me and say, man, that sucks. Like, is there anything that I can do to help you out? Like, that's what I was looking for. Never got it. Like my entire life, not from my parents, you know, just never fucking got it until now. And that's why we have the community, and that's why guys stick around, because the community that we have built is everybody moving forward, because everybody is stronger together.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I'll say it's not just the hard times that you guys share with the community too. I've seen, you know, there's been times where the guys will come together over the good stuff, and just having people who are excited for you, like starting a new business or doing new endeavors, that's huge too. So it's not just all for the shit that's dragging you down. Does anyone have any questions about programs or anything else before I give you guys something cool?
So is there going to be like a general insurance opportunity at some point?
That is something that we're trying to move forward to, but especially just the insurance side of it for non-veterans and things. There are so many loops and things you have to go through that it's going to take a while. So in the future, yes, that is a dream that we have, but right now, no.
Okay.
Anybody else?
One thing that has been noticed and repeated, when you go through the program, you will start seeing how those around you are. And you will find that there are people that you no longer want to associate with because of where they're at on their level. It is something that happens. And when you do come into something like that, bring it to this community. We will help you deal with it. We will help you adjust. That's what we do.
Yep. All right, guys. If no one has anything else, there was a question. If you guys need Kevin asked if you, oh my gosh, the pricing thing, I will post a link for all of everything I talked about in the main Brotherhood chat. So something I'm going to start doing on these Friday calls is I have created a ebook of Rick's book, and everyone who's in here gets the free ebook copy. It is the updated version from the one that you can purchase physical copy to. So even some of you guys, some of you warriors who are in here, I think you guys will like it, the changes that are on it. So I will post that in chat. You guys can access it here. And then if you guys can access it or you lose it after you open it, just message me on Discord and I will get that to you guys. All All right. If no one else has anything, I think that pretty much covers everything. Besides Nick having seizures over there.
Thank you for the gift, Randy.
You're welcome, guys. That's a good book. Rick wrote it with a psychologist. And honestly, it's so sad the level of training that psychologists go through versus the knowledge that they put out compared to guys who have gone through shit in real life and the experiences that they get from just doing it and living the hard life. You're not even going to be able to really tell the psychologist parts. At least I didn't, until there's one part where he was like, yeah, my wife. And I was like, Rick, you're married. What? He's like, no, that's the psychologist part. Yeah. So anyways, enjoy the gift. If you guys can access it there, shoot me a message and I'll get it to you again. All right, guys. Bye.